The meeting began with opening statements from 5 chiefs. Every one of them said no to Bill C-53. Nipissing Chief Scott McLeod said that Canada needs to do its due diligence to determine which communities being claimed by the Métis Nation of Ontario were truly historical. Until then, according to McLeod, the MNO cannot be recognized as being Section 35 rights holders. McLeod said there's a need for a pause on passing the bill.
This whole approach has been recognized first and verify later. And what we're saying is that we want to be at the table to look at who exactly we're speaking to when we talk about this legislation, because from our standpoint, you know, there's a facade of who these people represent, and some of them are in fact our own people. They're using our own history to basically hijack identity of a nation that never existed.
In his opening statement, Anishinaabe Grand Chief Elvin Fiddler said Bill C-53 would damage First Nations rights for generations to come and likely cause damage to the relationship with the federal government. Liberal MP Jaime Batis asked Fiddler about possible changes.
Would you be satisfied if we were able to put a clause in here that said that nothing in this act would abrogate or derogate away from First Nations treaties?
I think we'd be satisfied if you kill the bill. If you proceed with this bill, it will make things even more complicated, even more messy. And, you know, I didn't ask to be part of this hearing today. I was asked to come here. Well, I should have been asked a year ago. I should have been asked maybe 6 months ago. And I talked about just how colonial this exercise is. Well, that's exactly what it is.
Jason Batis is the executive director of the Waban Tribal Council. The organization represents 6 First Nations in the Timmins region. He said the bill opens the door to what he calls a wave of illegitimate Métis claims. According to Batis, Métis groups are already demanding industry pay them for impacts on the land. He said there's been no consultation and little information.
We've spent $500,000 through our little tribal council trying to get at why this bill is, and nobody wants to tell us. Nobody wants to tell us a thing. The government is protecting the information under cabinet privilege. Imagine that, treaty partner. Why don't you? Why is it so? That's interesting. Why is it so secret? What's the gig?
Next week, the committee will hear from the Manitoba Métis Federation and other Métis groups from across the western provinces. The Manitoba Métis Federation, for one, supports the Ontario Chiefs' opposition to Bill C-53. Annette Francis, APTN National News, Ottawa.